ग बनाया ये मुरली अमृत की धारा है, धारा जो देती दुखों से किनारा।
Om Shanti. Good morning. So we listen to Papa's Murli for 7th March 25. The essence is, sweet children, this original eternal drama is predestined. Whatever scene passes, it will repeat after a cycle. Therefore, always remain carefree. So we understand that this drama is predestined. Whatever scene passes, it will repeat after a cycle because it's a circle. Whatever passes will repeat. Therefore, always remain carefree. Question: what signs indicate that this world has now reached its tamopradhan stage? Answer: day by day, upheaval continue to happen, and there is so much chaos. Robbers beat people up and loot everything. There's so much damage caused by rainfall out of season. All of these signs indicate that this world is tamopradhan. Tamopradhan nature continues to cause sorrow. You children know the secrets of the drama, therefore you say that it is nothing new. So, couple of things about drama. One, we know that drama is predestined. We are playing our parts, just playing the script. Second, drama is cyclic. So every scene of the drama repeats, and that's why when we talk about deja vu, what is deja vu? Deja vu is this feeling that, oh, this has happened before. So when we have these feelings that this has happened, this scene, I know this scene, it's because it happened in last cycle, right? So that's why we have this deja vu where it comes up because it is repeating. Third, this drama, because this drama is repeating, every scene of the drama is being repeated, nothing new. And today Baba says, remain carefree by thinking nothing new. So there's no scene in this drama that can make me say, oh, I didn't expect this to happen. Oh, how did this happen? It's just repeating, nothing new. But this doesn't mean that for my effort I say, oh, I'll remain carefree, nothing new. What happened last kalpa will happen. Now I have to understand using the knowledge of drama for future or past. If I use it for future and I say if it's meant to happen, if it's in the drama, it will happen. That means these are words of laziness. So that means I don't want to put any effort and I'm just using drama as an excuse for my laziness. Using drama for past. So whatever happened in the past, drama happened. Nothing new. It happened last kalpa, it happened again. Or in the present, this scene is happening right now. Nothing new. It's repeating. It happened last cycle, it's happening again. This is where the knowledge of drama has to be used so that we don't worry about things that are happening. We don't become anxious about the things or scenes of drama that are happening or even in the past that have happened. I cannot go in the past and fix anything in the drama, but I can be careful and watch what I want to do in the future. So, this is how drama is to be used. And then the next is drama is beneficial. Drama is beneficial. Every scene of the drama is beneficial. We have understood that this drama is a play. It's a play of victory and defeat. It's a play of going down and then coming up. It's a play of pure to impure to pure. Hmm. So this is a play. So even though we come down in the cycle, or even though the world is becoming impure, whatever is happening, or even though we are getting defeated by Maya or Ravan in this drama, there's nothing that is not beneficial. Because only when degradation happens, only when we come down, by the end of it all, God comes. If it was only silver age throughout the drama, a golden age throughout the drama, hmm, how would God come? And why would God come to fix anything when nothing needed fixing? Right? So every scene in the drama is beneficial in our lives as well. If there are scenes that have happened in the past, or have happened, are happening right now, where we are going through certain challenges or situations, and I might look at them and say, what's the benefit of this? But there is benefit, because probably I'm learning who to trust, who not to trust. I'm growing through all of that, all of those scenes. So even if there's no benefit in me, but there is benefit for someone else in that scene. So we don't know these things, right? So overall, drama is beneficial. So these are the things we need to understand about drama. Om Shanti. You children are now being showered with the rain of this knowledge. Well, like yesterday also, Baba said this. Baba is showering on a barren land. So the soul had become barren. And now slowly there are showers. Just as when they sow seeds in the farms, so what they do is they plow the field first, right? They plow the land, they till the land or plow the land, and then they sow the seeds, and then they water it. So this why do they need to till the land? It's because they need to cycle the land, right? So they need to um, make it soft so that the seeds, when the roots come there, they're able to, right? The crops are able to grow. So it's to cycle the land, that they till the land. So in the same way, Baba is sowing the seeds, watering. He's even tilling the land in the soul, making it soft slowly every day. It's like tilling, plowing, making it soft, sowing the seeds of this knowledge, watering it, and then waiting for the fruit. How do we know that the result of that the fruit is coming is through our actions? Mm. If in my behavior, if in my actions, I'm able to apply this knowledge, use this knowledge, or even transform my behavior and action, I know that the crop is growing. So all of you are now confluence agent. All other humans are ion agent. At present, people in the world have many different ideas and opinions. You children only have one direction. You receive the one direction from God alone, which is Srimad, which Baba gives in the Murli. People on the path of devotion chant, do penance, and go on pilgrimages, etc. They think that those are the ways to attain God. They say that only after performing devotion can one attain God, but they do not know when devotion begins or how long it lasts. They simply say that they attain God by performing devotion. This is why they do many types of devotion. They believe that they have been continuing to do devotion from the beginning of time. They think that they will definitely attain God one day, that they will attain God in one form or another. What will He do? He will definitely grant salvation, because He is the bestower of salvation for all. Right? So after meeting God, what will God do? God will grant salvation, because that's what He does. He's the bestower of salvation. They do not know who God is or when He comes, even though they sing various kinds of praise of Him, that He is the purifier, He is the ocean of knowledge. Only through this knowledge is there salvation. They know that God is incorporeal, just as we souls are incorporeal. Then we take bodies. We souls reside with our Father in the supreme abode. We are not residents of this place. They are not able to tell you accurately of the place where you originally reside. Nobody told us that we come from the supreme abode up there in Paramdham because no one knows this. Some think that they will go to heaven, but no one is able to go directly to heaven from here. Some say that they will merge into the eternal light. That too is wrong. That would make souls perishable. There cannot be eternal liberation, that is moksha. No one can have eternal liberation or moksha. That means that they don't come down to play their parts at all. No, that will not happen. Since they speak of an eternally predestined drama, it indicates that this cycle continues to turn, that history and geography continue to repeat. And we've heard this, right? History repeats. Huh? How? Because the drama repeats. So history repeats. However, they do not know how the cycle turns. They neither know the cycle nor God. They wander around so much on the path of devotion. You know who God is. You call God the Father. Therefore, because we each have a physical father, and yet we still remember that one, let it enter the intellects that there are two fathers. One is the Lokik, that is the physical father, and the other is the Parlokik, that is the father from beyond, which is the father of the soul. The Lokik or physical father is father of this birth, this body. In this way, we have changed so many fathers. We've had so many fathers. Because we have taken so many births, each birth one physical father. But the father of the soul is one, always constant, remains the same. People do so much devotion in order to attain that Parlokic father. He resides in Parlok, that is the world beyond. There is definitely the incorporeal world. You know very well that everything people do belongs to the path of devotion. Devotion and only devotion has continued in the kingdom of Ravan. There cannot be this knowledge. There can never be salvation through devotion because devotion is in this kingdom of Ravan, it's actually blind faith. And devotion means somewhere or the other there are the vices that are used. There is ego in devotion. Huh? So there's anger. So we know the stories of so many saints, right? They would get angry on such small things. They were ready to curse. So devotion because of ego. There's no power in devotion. People remember the Father who grants salvation. Therefore, he must surely have come at some time and granted salvation. You know that this world is totally tamopradhan. It was once satopradhan. It is now tamopradhan, impure. So many upheavals continue to take place. There is so much chaos and robbers continue to loot everything. They beat people up and loot their money. They make them inhale all sorts of drugs to make them unconscious. This is the kingdom of Ravan. This is a huge, unlimited play. Don't you feel that this play has reached its total decay? Everything worse is happening at this time. It takes 5,000 years to go around the cycle. A play is like a drama, film. This wouldn't be called a play. If an actor in a play falls ill, he can be replaced, but that is not possible in this drama because each actor is contributing in this drama. And so here, no one else can play someone else's part. Each one of us is playing our own part. So it's more like a movie. This drama is more like a film. This drama is eternal. For instance, if someone is ill, it wouldn't be said that it is fixed in the drama for him to become ill. So it would be said that it is fixed in the drama for him to become ill. This drama is eternally predestined. When you explain to others about this drama, they become confused. You know that this drama is unlimited. The same actors will be there cycle after cycle, just as it is raining now, so it will be raining again after a cycle. In the same way, there will also be the same upheavals. You children know that the rain of this knowledge doesn't fall on everyone. Rain of this knowledge only falls on those souls whose soil has been tilled. That means who have done the 7-day course. Right? It's like checking. Can this soil hold? So the 7-day course is basically checking. Is this soil okay? Can we even sow the seeds? Huh? And then during that, it's sowing the seeds. And then Murli is like watering. However, the sound that God, the ocean of knowledge, has come will definitely reach everyone. Your main subject is yoga. Only you listen to the rain of this knowledge, but that rain reigns over the whole world. Through your yoga, there is constant peace. You tell everyone that God has come in order to establish heaven, but many call themselves God. So, who would believe you? And that's so true. There are so many people who call themselves God, so many gurus, right? They call themselves God or reincarnation of God. So, who will believe? Right? And that's what happens. People think that, oh, this Baba of yours, he called himself God. Huh? So Baba says, this is why the Father says that only a few out of many will emerge. Because only a few will realize, will understand this, will understand their truth, and will understand the truth of God. Amongst you, also, you also understand number wise that God the Father has come. You have to take your inheritance from the Father. The Father has also explained how you should remember Him. You have to consider yourselves to be souls to remember the Supreme Soul. Because if I'm in this body conscious, this form, this consciousness of my physical being, this role, this identity, physical identity, then I cannot remember the subtle point of light. For that, I have to remind myself that I am a soul. People have become body conscious. The Father says, only when all human souls have become impure do I come. You have become completely tamopradhan. I have now come to make you satopradhan. In the previous cycle too, I explained how you can become satopradhan from tamopradhan. Simply remember me. Baba says, I reminded you, I explained to you last cycle too. How can you become pure? Simply remember me. I have come to give you my own introduction and that of creation. Everyone in the kingdom of Ravan remembers that father. Souls remember their father. The father is bodiless. He is a point. He is given a name. You are called saligrams and the father is called Shiv. It is the bodies of you children that are given names, whereas the father is the supreme soul. He does not have a body. So his name Shiv is of the soul, not of the body. He has entered this one, Brahma. This is the body of Brahma. It is not this one who is called Shiv. Soul is the name of each of you, and each of you enters a body. So all of us souls have no name because our name is when we enter this body, the body gets a name. Hmm? So all of us souls are souls. Hmm? The Supreme Soul is the father of all souls. Therefore, everyone has two fathers. One is the incorporeal father, and the other is the corporeal. This one is then called the Alokik, that is the wonderful father, Brahma. Then Brahma becomes the spiritual father, Alokik father. There are so many children. Because there are so many Prajapita Brahma Kumars and Kumaris, people are unable to understand this. They are not able to understand what type of religion this is. You know that the words Kumars and Kumaris belong to this family path, being children. So, Kumars and Kumaris. There are the parents and the sons and daughters. On the path of devotion, they remember him. You are the mother, you are the father. You have now found the mother and father, and he has adopted you. huh? The supreme mother and father, which is Shiv Baba, and he has adopted us. He has made us belong to him. No one is adopted in the golden age. There is no mention of adoption there. This word exists here. Other fathers are limited, whereas that one is the unlimited father. This is an unlimited adoption because he adopts children, all of us. This is a very deep secret and worth understanding. Who does he adopt? Huh? He adopts children, all of us, through Brahma. That means those who understand this knowledge become Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. Shiv Baba adopts us through Brahma. You do not fully explain anything to anyone. Whenever someone first comes here and says that he wants to have a glimpse of our Guru, say to him, "This is not a temple. Just look at what is written on the board. There are so many Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. All of them are children of Prajapita, Brahma. You too are one of the people. So you too are Praja. God creates the world and He creates us too through the lotus lips of Brahma. Because we are all born out of this knowledge that God spoke through the lips of Brahma. We belong to the new world, whereas you belong to the old world. It is during the confluence age that we are made to belong to the new world. This is the age for becoming the most elevated human beings. You are standing at the confluence age, whereas everyone else is in the iron age. The whole world is in the iron age, but we have crossed to confluence age because we have understood this knowledge and we are making effort. It is as though there is a uh, partition between the iron age and confluence age. Just look how many partitions there are now. The head of each religion wants to look after his own people and keep their equals and everyone in their own religion happy so that no one leaves their state. Previously, a king had a right over all of his people. The king was considered to be the parent, the provider of food. There are no longer any kings or queens. Everything has been split into pieces. There is so much upheaval and chaos. There are sudden floods and earthquakes. All of this is dying in sorrow. Only you Brahmins now understand how you are all brothers. Therefore, you have to live with one another with a lot of love, like milk and sugar. You are the children of the one Father. So let there be a lot of love amongst you. The lamb and the lion are very great enemies here, and yet they drink water from the same pool in the kingdom of Ram. That means in the golden age. That means that there's so much harmony. Here there's fighting in every home. There are wars between nations. Because of their many different opinions, they even fight amongst themselves. You now know that you have taken your inheritance from the Father many times, and that you then lost it. That is, you conquer Ravan, and you are then defeated by him. We become the masters of the world by following the Srimad of the one Father. This is why he is called God, the highest on high. He is called the remover of sorrow and bestower of happiness for all. He is now showing you the path to happiness. You children have to be like milk and sugar with one another. That means become sweet with one another. People of the world are all like salt water. They do not take long to kill one another. You are the children of God, and so you have to be like milk and sugar. You children of God are even higher than the deities. So we are even higher than the deities. Why? Because we have the company of God at this time. We have knowledge at this time. In golden age, the deities don't have this knowledge, and there is no God there. You become the Father's helpers so much. You help him to make people elevated. Therefore, you should know in your hearts that you too are elevated human beings. Do you have divine virtues? Someone who has devilish traits wouldn't be considered to be a child of the Father. It's like when you're born in a family, you live by the family values, right? So in the same way, God has adopted us. So I have to live by the values of this godly family. This is why it is said that one who dishonors the Sadguru cannot reach the destination. That means when you don't live by the family values, Sadguru, the true Guru, he's giving us certain directions. If I don't follow those directions, then I'm defaming God, I'm defaming Sadguru. And then what karma am I accumulating? I-needed gurus say this of themselves and make people afraid. So it is actually defaming the true guru or his directions. But people, the gurus of this world in Iron Age, they say that if you defame me, huh, if you speak bad about me, then what will happen to you? That's why people are scared of guru. And many a times, people say that, oh, I already have a guru. I don't know if I can have another guru, huh, because the gurus scare them. Therefore, the Father explains to you, children, worthy children are those who glorify the Father's name and live together like milk and sugar. The Father always says, remain like milk and sugar. Do not fight and become like salt water. It is here that you have to become like milk and sugar. Even though we know each one's sanskar is different, their sanskars are something that probably I don't approve of, or probably I don't appreciate. But we still have to live like milk and sugar. I still have to be sweet. And again, not being sweet on the face and thinking bad behind the back. No, not that sweet. But just being sweet, understanding they are playing their part. You must have a lot of love for one another because you are all God's children. It is because God is most lovely that everyone remembers him. Therefore, you have to have a lot of love for one another. Otherwise, you cause the Father's honor to be lost. How can the children of God be like salt water with one another? How could they then claim a status? The Father says, live like milk and sugar with one another. If you are like salt water, you will not be able to imbibe virtues. So, how would you claim a high status if you do not follow the Father's directions? By becoming body conscious, you fight with one another. What is the reason that we get irritated or lose our patience with the other? It's because of body consciousness. It's because there was some expectation. It's because there's attachment. How can you do this? There's attachment. If you are soul conscious, there cannot be any conflict. You have found God the Father, and so you have to imbibe divine virtues. You souls have to become like the Father. Just as the Father has purity, happiness, and love, etc. So you have to become like Him. Otherwise, you will not be able to claim a high status. Study with the Father and claim a high status. Those who bring benefit to many are able to become kings and queens. All the rest become maids and servants. Any of you can understand that you will become what you will become. Someone who is studying this can accordingly understand for himself how he is going to glorify Baba's name. The children of God have to be most lovely. The children of God have to be most lovely so that anyone who sees them becomes very happy. Baba too, Baba too should find them very sweet. First of all, one's own home has to be reformed. First the family and then others. When we say charity begins at home. So let me first reform myself and my close relationships, how I interact with them. So, whilst living in your households, stay as pure as a lotus and live like milk and sugar. Let anyone who sees you say, "Oh, this is heaven." Prior to this knowledge, Baba had seen such families, 6 or 7 married sons living in the same family, all waking up early in the morning and performing devotion. There was absolute peace in the house. You belong to God's family. So think about it. This is just like about 100 years ago. Families were living like that. There were families living like this. But now there's no family lives like this. Right? So in just last 100 years, there's been so much degradation. You belong to God's family. Swans and storks cannot live together. You have to become swans. Baba would not be pleased if you become like salt water. Baba would say, "You defame my name so much. If you do not live like milk and sugar, you will not claim a high status in heaven. A lot of punishment will be experienced because by fighting, we are causing sorrow. What karmic account then am I accumulating? If after belonging to the Father you become like salt water, you will experience 100-fold punishment and will continue to have visions of the status you will claim. So, after understanding this knowledge, after belonging to Baba, if we perform any wrong action, any sinful action, we accumulate 100-fold. Why? Why more? Because I have the knowledge, and in spite of knowing everything, if I'm still doing something wrong, then I'm accumulating more sin. Acha? To you, sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bapdada. The spiritual father says Namaste to spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dharna. Pay constant attention to becoming most lovely because you are the children of God. You must not be like salt water with one another. First, reform yourself and then give others teachings to reform them. So I have to reform myself first. My behavior has to be very sweet first, then give teachings. Just as the Father has purity, happiness, love, and all virtues, so you too must become like the Father. Do not perform any act that would dishonor the Satguru. You have to glorify the Father's name with your behavior. Today's blessing. May you remain constantly stable. May you remain constantly stable and unshakable and always have courage and enthusiasm by staying aware of the Father and your attainments. So may you remain constantly stable and unshakable and always have courage and enthusiasm by staying aware of the Father and your attainments. Who do I belong to? What am I receiving? So stay aware of who do I belong to and what am I receiving at this time. And this will bring courage and enthusiasm and make me stable and unshakable. Constantly keep in front of you a list of all the attainments you have received from the Father since your birth, since your spiritual birth. For your attainment to be fixed and unshakable, your courage and enthusiasm also have to be unshakable. Instead of being unshakable, if your mind is sometimes mischievous, or if there is some mischief in your stage, the reason for that is that you are not constantly keeping the Father and your attainments in front of you. If the mind is mischievous, or if I'm getting pulled towards something or the other, that means that I'm not keeping the Father and my attainments in front of me. When the experience of all attainments is constantly in front of you and in your awareness, all obstacles will then finish, and you will always have new zeal and enthusiasm, and your stage will be constant and unshakable. So, when I have the awareness of who is with me, who is guiding me, who is protecting me, and what have I received? So, all my attainments that I have received from Baba, keep reminding yourself of everything that we have received after coming to Baba. And that will never uh, make me hopeless. There's always hope. I know that I can attain this. I know I can achieve anything. So, this is how we become unshakable. Slogan: to remain constantly content while doing any type of service means to claim good marks. To remain constantly content while doing any type of service means to claim good marks. Today's Avyak signal: adopt the culture of truth and good manners. You Brahmin children are very royal. Others should experience your good manners and truthfulness from your face and behavior. This is spiritual royalty. Royalty of who am I? What am I becoming? How are my words? How is my mannerism? How am I speaking? Huh? Everything. It is said that royal souls are goddess of good manners. The way they speak, regard others, walk, eat, and drink, and every action they perform reveals their natural good manners and truthfulness. It should not be that you set out to prove the truth but don't have any manners. This cannot be right. So, having good manners. In fact, today's Murli is all about manners, what sanskars we should all have. Sanskars of being sweet with one another, giving regard to one another. How am I speaking to one another? If you ever see royalties, if you've ever watched royalties, uh, even in any movie or in on TV or shows, you will see royalty. You'll see how they, how they conduct themselves. And Baba calls us spiritual royalties. We are becoming royal. So gods and goddess, right? We are becoming deities, royal. So I have to practice that royalty from now on. How I speak, how I move, how I walk, how I talk. And a simple practice of royalty is soul consciousness. When I am in soul consciousness, every action of mine will become royal. When I speak in body consciousness, that's when I speak a certain way, or I try to copy someone and all of that. But when I'm in soul consciousness, my actions, words, everything will become royal. So today, Baba is emphasizing on two things. One is the knowledge of drama, and the second is our own behavior and character. So, how am I interacting with everyone? Remember, who do I belong to? Who's teaching me every day? So, how should my behavior be? Okay, so let's remember Baba. I stabilize myself in the present. I'm a hero actor in this drama. Throughout this drama, I have taken many births, played many parts, have had many families, many physical parents. But I now understand that I, the soul, belong to the one eternal parent, Shiv Baba, God, the Almighty Authority, the highest on high, is my supreme parent. He nurtures me through his virtues, through this knowledge. This is my spiritual birth. God has adopted me, made me belong to him. I'm in the training to become a deity. For that, I need to imbibe royalty, royalty in my behavior, good manners in my actions and conduct. Today, I will keep reminding myself of who do I belong to and what are my attainments, what am I becoming, and I will pay attention to my mannerisms and behavior. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. So have a royal, great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Om Shanti.